Hi, welcome back to another episode of Algebra in Words, the video series. We're continuing looking at linear equations. In previous episodes, we dealt more with the equation, but in this episode, we're going to sort of go in the reverse. I have a graph of a linear equation on the board, and a typical question you might have is, you could be given a graph, and you have to use the graph to say what the equation of that line is. So let's do that. And before we do it, I want to explain exactly what you have to do. It's a pretty easy process. The first thing is you really need to look closely at the line. And what you need to do is, you need to identify 2 points that clearly go through an exact non-decimal point on the graph. So for example, follow the line and try to find at least 2 points, there could be more, which is fine, but find at least 2 points that cleanly go through a perfect crisscross of a vertical and a horizontal part of the graph. I have dotted lines on this graph to kind of simulate a regular graph. So if we come down here, notice that right here, the graph perfectly goes through this point. Okay, what point is that? It's good that you just write the name of the point, write the values of the point on your paper. So this would be 0, 1. And let's continue looking. Okay, not through here, not through here, not through here. But when we get to here, notice that that point goes through perfectly right at the crisscross. Okay, and when it does that, these problems are usually made for you to find the place where the line goes perfectly through the crisscross, the crosshairs sort of. So this one would be 3, -1. Alright, now, even if you don't write the point, you could use the point for various things. We might even use it for slope. But we can find slope in another way too, alright? And let's determine the slope first. And here's how we want to determine slope. Take your pencil or your marker and put it at one of the points that you determined was like a perfect point. And let's say that it is this one. You want to count the exact number of units that you have to go up and the number of units that you have to go left or right to get to the next point. And put them, let me just move this point up here, and put them in the fraction that would represent slope, rise over run. So I'm just going to put a fraction bar, and we're going to do the rise, the numerator, the vertical change first. So if we start here, how many units do we have to go up or down to get to this point? We would have to go up 2 points. So that's up, that's +2. Let's put 2 in the numerator. Okay, so we're here now. How many units would we have to go from here, left or right, to get to this point? We would have to go left 3 units, and if you go left, that's negative. So we're going to put -3 here. Normally, okay, you can have a negative in the denominator, but normally for slope, we put the negative associated in the top. So this would be the same as -2/3. And actually, we could have found it if we used this point to start and said, how many units do we have to go from here to here, downward? It would be down 2, which would be -2. And if we were here and said, how many units do you have to go horizontally to get to this point, you would go +3 points, 3 units. And that would be the +3 here. Okay, so we now know how to find the slope from the graph. That's half the battle. But again, we want to use this graph to generate the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So we have the slope. What else do we need? Well, the next thing that we need is, and let's actually write that, y equals -2/3 x, and we still need what? The slope, the y-intercept. Alright, so we could find that pretty easy. Look at the graph. Where does the graph go through the y axis? It goes through at 0, 1. So the y-intercept is 1 plus 1. And that's it. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give a thumbs up and please share with your friends. Please also subscribe to the channel so you can be alerted when new videos come out. Also check out my other videos on YouTube and Instagram, and I'll see you next time.